said to him, look, I'm sorry, but you've bought a non-urban car, and now he's stuck with a car that's got a fake urban kit, and the quality is awful, because it's not only the quality of the kit, but it's the fitment as well. You know, we've spent 6 years perfecting the fitment, because the arches are bonding on. If they're not done right, extreme weathers will, you know, they might start coming away slightly and stuff like that. So you know, it is a few grand more, it is a premium product, it is a premium price, but you are paying more for quality. And some people, you know, I don't think it's arrogant to say that people will go and buy a Land Rover Defender to urban it, you know. And at the end of the day, Land Rover are selling that product. I think, you know, they don't like people taking their product and doing something with it. But, you know, Rolls-Royce are awesome to work with, considering who they are and what they do. Like I said, when we display at Goodwood's, you know, some of the techs came around, looked on the stand and said, that's one of the best quality looking kits that we've seen.
So Land Rover would stop you if they could?
Oh, 100%. I remember a news article going out in Autocar magazine about 5 or 6 years ago. There was a guy called, I think his name was Jerry, was it Jerry McGovern or something like that? But he was one of the main guys at Land Rover, and he said he wanted to put all aftermarket tuners out of business, because they've got SVO, haven't they? But SVO haven't done a roof light bar, they haven't done a spoiler, they haven't done a carbon bonnet, they haven't done a set of extra wheels that you can get. They don't do their own modifications. We employ 110 people here. You want to take 110 people out of work and people feeding their kids and paying their mortgage and stuff like that? You want to put all aftermarket tuners out of business? I thought that was a bit strong, just because you don't like what we do. You're selling your product anyway. There will always be someone who wants to modify a car. You know, you never thought, like, if I told you 10 years ago you'd have a Rolls-Royce, but you'd put a different set of aftermarket wheels on it, but you know that it looks better.
Yeah.
You know, and there will always be a customer for a modification.
But, you know, like, for example, over the last 10 years, Rolls-Royce have restructured their brand, because they could see that there was a trend of younger people wanting
market
to drive their cars.
The Rolls-Royce Wraith was the car that did it.
Yeah,
that was the car that did it.
So, you know, a Rolls-Royce Wraith with a set of 23-inch wheels lowered looks amazing.
Yeah.
You don't need to do anything else to that car.
One of my all-time favourite cars, Rolls-Royce Black Badge, like a bright interior, whether it be Mandarin or blue or something like that, lowered on a set of 22s. That is my all-time favourite car. Like you say, 10, 15 years ago, Rolls-Royces wasn't for that. I would never have said that Rolls-Royce was one of my favourite brands. But what they do now is incredible. But they've evolved, and you have to.